when it comes to regulating speech, the type of speech that we use also makes a difference. So, for our purposes, the Supreme Court has essentially outlined 3 different types of speech. And depending on the type of speech you use, it may be easier for government to silence you or to silence a speaker. So there's what's called pure speech, which is just standing there and using words. There's what's called speech plus, which means speech plus conduct or some type of action. And then there is what's called symbolic speech. Or another term used is expressive conduct. Symbolic speech is to express an idea without using words. So, for example, pure speech, as I said, I'm just standing there talking. Speech plus. Say I'm giving the same speech, plus while I'm doing it, I decide I'm going to burn a flag. Phew. I am talking and doing conduct also. That's speech plus. Symbolic speech would be, say I just stood up without using any words at all and just burned a flag. That would be symbolic speech. So pure speech, speech plus, and symbolic speech. Now when it comes to regulating or silencing a speaker, speech plus is much easier to silence than pure speech, because pure speech is just words. And as we said, assuming that you're speaking your words at a reasonable hour and in a reasonable location, you should be able to use whatever words you want to use, even if they're offensive. So, say I add another element. Now it's speech plus. It might be easier to silence that person. So, say I'm giving a speech standing at the edge of a forest, and it's fire season, and it's in the middle of the California drought, and the woods are incredibly dry, and I'm standing there and I'm just talking. No problem, right? But say I do something else while I'm talking. Say I decide that I'm going to burn a flag while I'm talking. Well, suddenly I'm adding an element of danger, that there's a public safety issue at this point because I'm burning a flag on the edge of a dry forest during fire season. So I could be arrested at that point, not for the words I'm saying or even for the symbolism of burning a flag. It's because I'm using fire in the middle of fire season at the edge of a dry forest. So the conduct is where I get in trouble, not the words. So speech plus is much easier to regulate. And symbolic speech is the most easy to regulate because my conduct, first of all, may not be clear what I'm actually communicating. So whether or not I'm actually communicating something of value might be in question. But number 2, it might just be my conduct itself that's creating a problem. So pure speech, speech plus, and symbolic speech. In the next video, we're going to talk about the tools that the court uses when actually balancing freedom of speech versus other type of values like public safety.